Peace and blessings. Hello to everyone. And so we are going to be talking about an interesting subject and really just looking at it and sharing our insight and asking you questions, right? And so as you can see, it's me and Anaya right here with Intel Drop. Let's talk about it, see what's going on. And then trying to hear from y'all, see what you think about this stuff that we share. Definitely want to hear from you wherever you're type coming in from. Put it in the chat, drop it in the chat so we can say hi and greet you all. And so I'm gonna say the disclaimer, fair use, and then play this video. As you can see, on the top right hand corner of my screen will constantly be the copyright disclaimer for fair use. But I'm also going to share it larger. Oh, that's in the background, huh, Anaya? Say hi to the people, Anaya.
Shalom.
Well, yeah, there you have it. Let's see. Okay, here it is. All right. For those of you, and I need to get this comment. Oh, there's Alondra. Hi, Alondra from Cali. How are you?
What up, Lonnie?
Alondra is still awake at 10:04. It's her bedtime, but she tuned
Yeah.
in to get this news. So I'm so glad to see you, Alondra. That's my daughter. For everyone that sees this, Alondra's from Cali. All right. And so fair use copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing non-profit use, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. So I want to share this video and then we're going to talk about it after that. Let me get this off the screen. All right. In favor of fair use.
Oh.
All right. Can you see that, Anaya?
Yes, ma'am.
Elon
Okay.
Musk's brain implant company Neuralink said on Thursday it had been given a green light from the US FDA to kickstart its first in human clinical study. It's a critical milestone for Neuralink after earlier struggles to gain approval.
We're confident that it is possible to restore full body functionality.
On at least 4 occasions since 2019, Musk has said his medical device company would begin human trials for a brain implant to treat severe conditions such as paralysis and blindness. Yet the company only sought Food and Drug Administration approval in early 2022, and the agency rejected the application, sources linked to the company told Reuters in March. The sources said the FDA had pointed out several concerns to Neuralink that needed to be addressed before sanctioning human trials. They include the device's battery, as well as safety issues surrounding its wires and the protection of brain tissue.
What about the monkeys?
Thursday's FDA approval comes as US lawmakers are urging regulators to investigate the oversight of animal testing at Neuralink. The company has already been the subject of federal probes, including at least one linked to animal testing and treatment.
Fun game.
In a tweet on Thursday, Neuralink said it was excited to share the news of the approval, but that it's not yet recruiting for a clinical trial. Over the years, Musk has publicly outlined an ambitious plan for Neuralink. He envisions its devices to cure a range of conditions from obesity, autism, depression, schizophrenia, to enabling web browsing and even telepathy, and that both disabled and healthy individuals would be swiftly getting surgical implants at local centers. Neuralink and the FDA did not immediately respond to a Reuters request for comment.
That's a lot. And
Yeah.
so we're gonna bring. What do you think about that, Anaya?
They caught me at telepathy. Didn't know this was the X-Men.
Well, I mean, and initially it was like said that it was for people to try to get their full body functions back. The FDA had some issues, ongoing issues with it, but now we're looking at And let me try to fix it to where you can see us on the side. Well, we're supposed to be on the side. And so we're looking at the trials starting. So I wanted to read through that information, and let me bring that up right here. All right, let me make it bigger. Okay. And so as you can see right here from Insider, thousands of people are reportedly lining up to have a portion of their skull removed and of one of Elon Musk's brain chips implanted, right? And this was the picture from Bloomberg report that Insider shared. And so thousands of people are interested in becoming Neuralink patients, a Bloomberg report says. Elon Musk's startup received FDA approval earlier this year to start human trials. The brain chip startup hopes to implant a device that acts as a Fitbit to your skull. Okay. Acts as a Fitbit to your skull. And let's go to the rest of the article. I got to learn how to exit full screen. There we go. Okay. And so I wear a smartwatch,
Mhm.
and I just am not feeling like this is the same thing. But hey, if you're out there and you have other thoughts, definitely share them. But we're just going to keep on reading on to get more information about what is taking place with this Fitbit for the skull. Okay.
Mm, mm-mm.
All right. And so here you see it. Thousands of people have expressed interest in receiving one of Neuralink's brain implants. A recent Bloomberg report from one of Elon Musk's biographers, Ashley Vance, says. Vance, who said he visited Neuralink's facilities 10 times in 3 years, said the company has yet to implant its device in a human. Do you believe that, Anaya?
They probably did a long time ago.
Oh, because you're thinking of what we call predictive programming in movies, right? Like how people say, the Simpsons talk about stuff that already happened and try to give hints. Yeah, I get what you're saying. Um,
Yeah.
but aim to operate on 11 people next year and more than 22,000 by 2030. Earlier this year, the U.S. Food and Drug Administration gave Neuralink, which Musk confounded in 2016, approval to launch human trials of its device that Musk has described as a Fitbit in your skull. The
Mm-mm.
FDA had previously rejected Neuralink's bid for human testing in March over safety concerns. Reuters reported, including that the wires connected to the brain chip could move within a subject's head or that the chip could overheat. Wow.
That.
Let's keep going. In September, the company began recruiting for its first human trial. Neuralink said in a blog post that it was looking for people who had paralysis in all four limbs because of a spinal cord injury or amyotrophic lateral sclerosis. The company says it hopes to eventually make a device that will create a sort of symbiosis between humans and machines and will allow people to send messages or play games using only their thoughts. But first, the company says it hopes to help people with neurological disorders. Vance, who authored the 2015 biography Elon Musk, Tesla, SpaceX, and the Quest for a Fantastic Future, sounds like some kind of utopian ideals here, right? We're going to get into that.
Oh,
Said, huh?
I said, yep.
um, said in his report that despite an outpouring of interest from thousands of prospective patients, the company was still looking for its first volunteer or someone willing to have a chunk of their skull removed by a surgeon so a large robot can insert a series of electrodes and super thin wires into their brain. Now, is that the way to like get people to sign up? Like if you hear that and it's quoted, someone willing to have a chunk of their skull removed by a surgeon so a large robot can insert a series of electrodes and super thin wires into their brain. Does that sound enticing to you? Like, what, I don't see that that's like something that I would feel comfortable signing up for.
No, even the word usage of trials on humans does not sit right with me, because they're sitting here testing out medical products that could possibly kill you or make you brain dead on flesh with a spirit in it casually.
And so people are signing up for this. How do you feel about that? Because some people will say, well, Anaya, it's not right to do these trials on animals, because that it seems like the FDA has an issue with animals and the way that he's testing on animals. It said that at the beginning in the video, right? But you know what? We need human trials. So I that to me, it's like, okay, there's a problem with animals that are being tested. So now let's sign up people, persons.
I mean, that's that's horrible. I mean, they could just, if they want to test on people so bad, they could test on each other and
And
not
then the science, uh-huh.
and not just citizens. I mean, half the time I would assume that these citizens don't have the literacy to understand fully what they're signing up for. Some people can't read a contract thoroughly, and so that's what I
So
think
do
is.
you think that that is a fully informed decision that they're making? Because human trials require a person to be able to make full informed decisions, fully informed consent, right? And I've taught on that several times about the criteria for full informed consent. And so do you think that those are the people that are signing up, or do you think that the people that are signing up are people that kind of don't understand what they're signing up for?
Most of the time, I think it's the people that don't understand, because when you're signing to be a human trial, you're basically giving them permission to your entire life.
Mm. And then there'll be scientists that'll say, well, if we don't have any human testing, how are we supposed to know it's going to work, right? And so it always continues to go back cyclical. So let's keep going on. Musk's biographer said it would take a couple of hours for a surgeon to perform the craniectomy, and then about 25 minutes for the robot to insert the device along with its ultra thin array of about 64 threads. He said the device would replace the portion of the skull that had been removed. Vance added that the threads were about 1/14 of width of a single strand of hair. Wow. And so let's go on to the next one. That's very interesting. Very interesting. Okay, let's see. That's not the one. Hold on, y'all. I think it's this one. Nope, it's this one. No, that's it. Vance wrote that Neuralink had done 155 implantation surgeries using the robot on a variety of animal test subjects, including pigs and monkeys. But he said, in typical Musk fashion, the billionaire had continued to push for the robot to move faster, as well as for the surgery to be performed without human help. A spokesperson for Neuralink did not respond to a request for comment ahead of this publication. And they also said that on the video, right? Like, they didn't respond for a comment. And so let's see what else is being said here. The biographer said Musk had pointed to the need to combat competition from other brain computer startups such as Synchron and Onward, which had already began human trials. They're currently kicking our ass. And I quote, Musk said after Synchron implanted its first device in a US patient in July of 2022, in December 2021, one of Synchron's patients in Australia was the first person to send a tweet using only his thoughts. All right. And then Vance quoted the billionaire saying Neuralink needed to pick up its pace, like the world is coming to an end, to keep up with the artificial intelligence and the possibility of an AI being that wouldn't be friendly to humans. Yet while Musk's maniac, my maniacal, sorry, I'm looking at it small here and I got my glasses on. Yet while Musk's maniacal sense of urgency may work at Tesla or SpaceX, where he has initiated sprints and slept on the factory floor to meet deadlines, at least one Neuralink executive has taken note of caution. Has taken a note of caution. We can't blow up the first three. There's not an option here. Siobhan Zillis, Neuralink's director of special projects and the mother of two of Musk's children, told Vance in a reference to SpaceX's first three rockets, which exploded. And at the bottom of this insider news report, you see, have you filled out an application for Neuralink's human trials, or do you have a tip? Reach out to the reporter from a non work email. Now
That's
that's funny. Hey, don't be using your school emails either, okay? From a
oh,
non, what'd you say?
I said, oh no.
Look, reach out to the reporter from a non-work email. That's the first time I've seen this in a report actually. At and you see the email address. I find this all very interesting, and his maniacal that's not a sense of humor. Like he's literally telling y'all what he want to do, right? And you can't be rolling around talking about people's brains in that way. So I want to take a minute to go and look at Neuralink's website and see what's being said. And I didn't even know until I read this. I didn't even know about Onward and the other company, Synchrons, right? And that this had already been done because I was watching some DARPA stuff about this being possible and they were talking about it, but I didn't know it had been done. So I'm going to go to the video. Let's see.
I find it strange that a person who makes cars for a living has the right to become a medical professional all of a sudden. Like,
I think it's all about the technology, right? Like him being at the forefront because as you can see, like he said, they're kicking our ass. I quote, right?
mm,
And he doesn't want to let them win, and I'm like, well, wait a minute, hold up. Like some of the word usage is interesting. Like, what is it that you're trying to create with regards to people?
right,
And how is this going to dynamically shift them, and what do they know that we don't know? And so this is why it's important to go straight to the source, and that's what I'm going to do now. Like, what are they saying on the website? But I mean, that doesn't mean that it's always going to be true what they're saying, right?
right.
You just have to go see, like, their word usage is always interesting. So as you can see, we're right here at the site, at Neuralink site, and there's a patient registry. Let me zoom in. Create a generalized brain interface to restore autonomy to those with unmet medical needs today and unlock human potential tomorrow. They have a career section, patient registry, all of that. Let's see. Let's go down. Yes, I can go down on that one. Okay, right here. And so the brain computer interfaces have the potential to change lives for the better. We want to bring this technology from the lab into people's homes. You see this link right here?
Mhm.
Potential impact. Okay. And then let's click on who's it for. Who's it for, Anaya?
Um,
Can you see that?
disabled people.
We are currently focused on giving people with quadriplegia the ability to control their computers and mobile devices with their thoughts.
Nah, that's not okay.
That sounds like Xavier,
Sounds like
Professor Xavier, right? And so
a
you were right when you said like X-Men in the beginning. And listen, I'm not without compassion for these people that desperately want to be able to engage in a way that's meaningful to them. But at the same time, I'm just like, wait, when you start messing with human thoughts, it just sounds like some things that we've seen in the past, but obviously didn't learn from. And they used to do, what do they used to call them? Lobotomies,
think so.
you know. And so we'll have to like keep an eye on this. And I don't know who is going to be signing up, because of course we're not going to be able to see that. That's information that's not going to be made public until after the person does it, right? But to know that there's already 22,000 people signed up, but he only plans on doing 100 next year, and then moving on till like 2030, right? Which is interesting because I talk about Healthy People 2030 agenda, right? Which is a worldwide agenda. So it says we keep the people who will use our products in mind. Yeah, you keep their minds in your mind too, right? Emphasizing safety, accessibility, and reliability during our engineering process. Let's see. All right. And so what next? What next? And maybe I should just like see if I can reduce the size a little bit.
He's
No,
for real trying to create Cerebro.
I mean, it sounds like they're trying to create a utopian world where everything is perfect and everybody gets along and, things like that. But we're like in a dystopia right now.
Look at
In the future,
look at the sign,
we're at
the,
in the left hand corner.
the hand sign.
Oh, you know what? I just seen that. Ain't that something? And is that like an infinity sign?
I think it looks like one or an hourglass maybe, or a fish. It could be multiple things because it's uneven.
That looks kind of like a jellyfish too, huh?
Yeah.
Interesting. In the future, we hope to restore capabilities such as vision, motor function, and speech, and eventually expand how we experience the world. So wait, you're saying we, but we are not all signing up, right? And I like, what in the heck?
No, no, not at all.
Why are they saying we? We are not all signing up, right?
Right.
So I'm trying to figure out, what does that we mean? Where we can all, right? Like who are we? Who are we? Is it like we the people, we, or we the people that sign up for the I'm trying to figure that out. Where
Mm,
we can all, terms like we and all. Who are you talking about, right? And then you see this the battery right there where FDA said they had some issues and concerns over the battery. Let's see, what's this one? Oh, the enclosure
You know
and the threads. Hmm?
the sign kind of looks like a warped version of the Meta sign. So
Oh, you know what? It might be, huh?
yeah, just like a warped version of it though.
You see the robot?
Oh my gosh.
So there you have the surgical robot, the threads. Let's see the surgical robot. There it is. All right. And let's see what kind of careers they have. You learn a lot by looking at the kind of jobs that are posted in a place, right? You don't have to be a brain surgeon to work at Neuralink. Okay.
Oh.
We're looking for talent across all disciplines to solve new challenges and to increase our bandwidth. So, you know what? I'm not even gonna make a joke about it right now, but I could just totally chime in about bandwidth, right? But I want to keep moving because I'll stay on that for a minute. For interfacing with the world, search open roles to see how you can contribute. Hmm.
Mm-mm.
I'm gonna go down here first and then come back. Okay, life at Neuralink. We offer an opportunity to change the world and work with some of the smartest and most talented experts from different fields. Interesting. Open roles, developing brain computer interfaces is an interdisciplinary challenge. I don't know why I be tongue tied. We are looking to hire a wide range of people with diverse engineering, scientific, and operations expertise. And they have internships,
Oh no.
analog and mixed signal IC design, interior intern, electrical engineering, embedded software engineer, materials engineer, mechanical engineer, quality assurance. Now that I want to see the description on that.
A lot of
Quality.
them in
Mhm.
California. A lot of them are.
Well, of course. hmm I want to see what the quality assurance person is qualifications are. Okay, so here's a job application, and let's look at this description. Quality assurance intern. Okay, at Neuralink, Austin, Texas. We're creating the future of brain. They keep saying we. They talking about um Neuralink. I get it, but it says we can all enjoy, right? As something that we can all enjoy. And I'm thinking, like, are you talking about only Neuralink people
Mm,
or the entire society, right? So
They want
anyway, hmm
they want to indulge.
in some kind of utopian ideals, right? That are
Y-
not, yeah, I don't know how many times and how many generations people are going to try to reach this utopian ideal, and it just proves to be very devastating.
Yeah.
Anyway, we are creating the future of brain computer interfaces, building devices now that have the potential to help people with paralysis regain mobility and independence and invent new technologies that could expand our abilities, our community, and our world. All right, let's see. The new hire is going to be part of the quality assurance team assisting in GLP compliance related activities. Job responsibilities. I want to see this. Become intimately familiar with GLP's QA standard operating procedures, SOPs, FDA audit checklists, and the medical device regulatory process from research and development to first in human. Interact with technical specialists to assist with writing, editing, and performing with mock GLP audits to tune technical and equipment's SOPs such that they comply with good laboratory practices. Create GLP and regulatory training materials, training presentations, and training records. Let's see, assist with setting up and maintaining document control for controlled documents, which includes obtaining management approval signatures, photocopying, creating SOP, and the workstation binders, ensuring the proper procedures for controlled documents are followed. And can you read the rest because I need to find something really quick before we stop.
Um.
Can you see it?
Yes, we're at performing procedures, right?
Yes.
Okay. Performing procedures, facility and equipment audits for GLP compliance. Assist with creating GLP and regulatory infrastructure systems, which include surgical material, lot tracking, re- reagent and solution tracking, sample specimen tracking, document tracking and retention, etc. Assist with and or fill in for various scribe and documentation roles over the course of the GLP study as needed to ensure GLP and regulatory compliance. Perform literature searches, summarize pertinent information, and apply information to meet Neuralink needs and goals.
So, what is this? How do you feel about all of this? This is
Um,
a lot. I don't think I want to go into any more descriptions, but it's very interesting. Like, this is a lot, this brain based technology. And you know what? So, let me go ahead and say what you think. I'm going to go to another document.
what keeps getting me is that they started off as if they're just trying to help paralyzed people, and then they're like, "Oh, we want to open up everybody's brain to see what they can do," basically.
Yeah, that's what it sounded like to me too, and I don't know, very much about their intentions since I ain't talked to them, but it seemed like it comes out in the sarcastic statements and quotes that they are like, "Wait a minute, we got to take this seriously." But if Musk is not taking it seriously and basically saying, "Here's what I want to do," and I don't see that as a joke, right? Because now we're talking about a body with a soul and a spirit, and that's not something to play around with. And then so here, and I've talked about this several times before, like y'all got to be paying attention. I'm telling you, research because you getting researched, right? And so this is at DARPA.mil and the DARPA and the Brain Initiative. So I want y'all to know that all of this stuff didn't just pop up overnight. This has been something that has been in the works for a while. When you have a moment, go and research. Again, this is the Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency, and you can see the White House announced in the Brain Initiative in 2013. Okay, April.
10 years.
Today, yep, the initiative is supported by several federal agencies as well as dozens of technology firms, academic institutions, scientists, and other key contributors to the field of neuroscience. And DARPA is supporting the BRAIN initiative through a number of programs, continuing a legacy of DARPA investment in neural technology that extends back to the 1970s. And an article in our 60th anniversary magazine provides an overview of the agency's recent research aimed at expanding the frontiers of the field and enabling powerful new capabilities. And so here are some of the things that they do, right? Electrical prescriptions, ElectRx. The ElectRx program aims to help the human body heal itself through neuromodulation of organ functions using ultra miniaturized devices, approximately the size of individual nerve fibers. Do you know how small that is? Which could be delivered through minimally invasive injections.
Mm-mm.
And the work begins to support self healing of body and mind. Electric RX has the nerve to envision revolutionary therapies for self healing. President Obama, who signed the executive order to increase their research and funding capabilities, and y'all can go and check this out, I'll put it in the chat, highlights new DARPA program aimed at developing novel therapies customized to individualized patients, right? Hand pro Proprioception, I'm sorry, I looked away for a minute, and touch interfaces, haptics, okay? So the haptics program aims to create a fully implantable, modular, and reconfigurable neural interface microsystems that communicate wirelessly with external modules such as a prosthesis interface link to deliver naturalistic sensations to amputees. And I actually have seen videos about this in particular on YouTube that you guys should definitely see because they show how that gives sensation and allows people to feel right. But it's just this is definitely cut way more than cutting edge, right? It's almost like,
Mhm.
do you think they like trying to play God here? The Most High. I don't know how he would feel about this. I'm like, I definitely have compassion for people that do not have the use of their arms and legs, I don't really know very much about medical practices in neuroscience. I just know like this is way more than cutting edge. This is a lot.
Yeah. Yeah.
So then you have neuroscience of touch supports improved robotic. You see that right there. They start with prosthetic hands and a sense of touch, restoring sense to of touch to amputees. I did see some other things where look at seeks to overcome physical and psychological effects of limb loss, right?
Mm.
I had saw some things where they were just trying to discover the core of emotions, right?
Mm.
Neuroengineering science system, I mean, neural engineering system design, NESD. This program aims to develop an implantable neural interface. Remember that word and look it up so you can understand what it means. Able to provide unprecedented signal resolution and data transfer bandwidth between the brain and the digital world. Now, that's deep right there.
Mm. The
Okay.
brain, digital world.
Like neural interface, like you're going to be able to do stuff with your mind,
Mm-mm.
is what they're saying, right? So, towards a high resolution implantable neural interface and bridging the bioelectronic divide. What in the heck? Bio means what, right? And electronic, bridging the bioelectronic divide. So,
Life.
you matter, right?
Mm-hmm.
And an electronic divide, right? So,
Mm-hmm.
we know with this neural interface, definitely look at more, research that a little bit more, and see what that means, because again, it was about like how do we kind of understand emotions and the root of emotions, and how do we tap into that so that all of these things operate like lifelike, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so then you have like other stuff right here. Definitely, you see this right here, neural function activity, right? And the neural fast program seeks to enable unprecedented visualization and decoding of brain activity to better characterize and mitigate threats to the human brain, as well as facilitate development of brain in the loop systems to accelerate and improve functional behaviors. The program has developed Clarity, a revolutionary tissue preservation method, and builds off recent discoveries in genetics, optical recordings, and brain computer interfaces. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Researchers identified conductor of brain's neural orchestra and began to decode the score. Advanced clarity methods offer faster, better views of the entire brain. And here is this next generation. And we can just go on and on and on and on and on about all this stuff, memory, all of it. But you need to go and look at these things for yourself. See who's all involved, right? We have the Department of Defense, all of the different entities that are, dealing with military stuff. You can see all of the people that are involved by going down here and just checking it out. And you know what? I want to hear from y'all. This is an official website, as you can see at the bottom. This is an official website of the Department of Defense website, sponsored by the Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency. It feels MK Ultra-ish. Just saying. I'm not. I'm just saying my opinion. Giving my
But
opinion.
instead of drinking out the cup, they're just getting stuff implanted into them.
You are you talking about the People's Temple? Oh, you done started a whole thing. I gotta bring that out. I gotta bring that out because I haven't even brought that out yet. Like the information that I've seen connected to that is like, wow, it's too much almost, right? And so, anyway, definitely go look at this stuff, figure it out, and we want to hear what you think about this, right? Like, what do you think? Is it going too far? You know, are we going too far as human beings to say that we have this ability to do all of these things? And do you believe that the government should be researching these kinds of projects and resourcing them, right? Is this what the government's role is? What
um,
about you, Anaya? Do you think this is the government's role?
Last time I checked, we have dominion over animals in the earth, not people themselves. But we're allowed to
That's
lead,
true.
like
That's
not.
that's the book right there. You
Yeah, that
know,
that's what
the Most
I.
High gave us dominion and told us to be fruitful and multiply, but and some people will say, well, he performed that surgery and gave anesthesia when he, made Eve out of the rib of
Uh,
Adam, but I didn't see him cut nobody's head open though.
but he was creating more life, not just he wasn't just doing it to do experiments and trials and stuff. He knew what he was doing.
Yeah, and so with that, everybody, we're gonna leave and watch a couple minutes of this,
I
and we'll
need
see
some
you
water.
next time.
Who are you? And what have you done with my mother?
My mother has never set foot in this kitchen in her life. And she certainly never made me a hot chocolate. Unless you count ordering the maid to do it. Professor?
Stop. Yeah.
Charles! You okay?
There's someone else out there. You can't. You'll drown. You have to let go. I know what this means to you, but you're going to die. Please, Eric, calm your mind.
Researchers.
How wonderful. Another mutant already here. Why didn't you say?
Say what?
Because you don't know.
It's working.
Oh, easy. Take it easy, chaps.
All right, and so you can go and watch that for yourself. I saw a lot within that, first minute and 20 seconds that alludes to, have we been here before, doing these kinds of things? Predictive programming, call it what you want, or was it, massaging the idea into our thought processes so that we could arrive at the day we're at today? So drop your comments in the chat. We want to hear from you. Thanks for watching, and we will see you again. Actually, Anaya, go ahead. I want to put the link to that video in there, and then I want to give you the last words.
Um, well, Solomon says that there's nothing new under the sun, so maybe just a thought that maybe
No,
this was happening before. I like to say that everything that's happening now is much more modernized than it may have been before, or maybe it's not as modernized. Maybe it's downgraded.
right? You think people are getting smarter, or that, like, we're probably regressing in our levels of intelligence?
Probably getting dumber.
Well, there's definitely some simpletons. Speaking of Solomon, right? We talk about this a lot. Wisdom. Wisdom is a defense, right? And wisdom is in direct opposition to foolishness. And so, with that, fam, you heard what she said. Solomon told us there is nothing new under the sun. And we hope that you have a wonderful day. Be blessed. We'll see you next time.
Bye.